The village had always whispered about the house at the edge of the forest, but no one dared approach it after nightfall. Its walls were blackened with age, streaked with dried blood from unknown horrors, and its windows gaped open like the eyes of the damned. Children spoke of hearing whispers carried by the wind, of shadows moving in impossible ways, and of the faint, terrible sound of footsteps inside when the house was empty. Yet, Nneka could not resist. Her brother Obina, ever cautious, tried to warn her, but curiosity gnawed at them both. That night, the siblings approached the house. The full moon cast a sickly light over the clearing, illuminating streaks of blood that glistened in the shadows. The gate squealed when pushed open, a sound that seemed alive, crying out warnings in the cold night air. Inside, the house breathed. The air was thick with decay and the smell of something long dead. The floorboards groaned under their weight, each step echoing unnaturally. Cobwebs hung like ragged curtains, brushing against their faces. In the far corner, a hanging man swayed gently from the ceiling. The rope creaked in rhythm with the wind, as though counting their remaining moments. His hollow eyes, empty yet accusing, seemed to follow their every move. Nneka's lantern flickered, revealing streaks of dried blood along the walls that pulsed as if the house itself were alive. The faint thump on her heartbeat started in the silence, low and steady, growing louder with every step they took. Whispers wove through the darkness. Leave, leave, leave. The siblings' breath hung in the air, mingling with the cold mist that rose from the floorboards. A sense of being watched pressed down on them. Their curiosity had led them into a trap older than the village itself. A loose floorboard shifted under Obina's foot, revealing a hidden trapdoor. Dust rose like smoke as they descended into the basement, the air growing colder with every step. The walls seemed to close in, pressing shadows against them from every corner. The faint smell of earth and rot thickened into a choking presence. At the center of the basement lay a casket, massive and ancient. It radiated a darkness that seemed to devour the lantern light. Its wood was blackened and cracked, and the faint outlines of carved symbols hinted at rituals long forgotten. Nneka stepped forward, her hand trembling as she lifted the lid. A skeletal hand shot out, clinging to the edge. The basement erupted into shrieks and whispers, overlapping with a thundering heartbeat that now filled the room. Shadows stretched, twisting as though alive, reaching towards the intruders. Chike, their friend who had insisted on following them, clutched his stomach and collapsed on his knees. His skin grew pale, veins blackening and twisting beneath his flesh. Blood dribbled from the corners of his mouth. A guttural, inhuman growl escaped him, jerking his body into unnatural movements. In moments, he had become a zombie, his eyes rolling back, his face twisted in something monstrous. Nneka swung her machete, narrowly avoiding him as he lunged with staggering speed. The hanging man above creaked violently, rope groaning as if echoing the heartbeat in the walls. The skeletal figure in the casket began to rise, hollow eyes glowing with an eerie light. The blood streaks on the walls seemed to throb, alive, as if the house itself were bleeding. The whispers intensified, layered with screams that seemed to come from everywhere and nowhere. The heartbeat accelerated, hammering in their chests, echoing the rhythm of the house. Nneka's hand gripped the protective charm Mama Nkechi had given her. She began chanting, the words vibrating with power through the basement. The basement trembled violently. The skeletal figure hesitated, then retreated into the casket. Chike froze mid-lunge, collapsing into a heap on the floor. The heartbeat slowed. The blood on the wall stopped dripping. Silence settled, suffocating, yet heavy with unseen eyes. Slowly, Chike stared. He was alive, pale and trembling, haunted by the shadows that had claimed his body. He looked around, trying to comprehend the nightmare he had survived. Oneka and Obina climbed the basement stairs. Outside, the night air was crisp, the forest silent, but for the whispering wind. The house loomed behind them, dark and patient. Its windows were like watchful eyes, observing the intruders who had dared to enter. The lid of the casket rattled once, faintly, a whisper carried on the wind. This is not over. The siblings did not need to hear more to know the truth. The house had awakened, and the shadows of the damned waited patiently for the next souls brave or foolish enough to enter. The night stretched on, full of unseen movement. Somewhere deep within, blood on the walls seemed to pulse again, the heartbeat slowly returning, whispering promises of terror yet to come. And the forest fell silent once more.